Coming up, we discuss LAX updates, surprises when first driving for Uber and Lyft, conversations about tipping, passengers who take a long time, and more. A special thanks to JT Legal Group. They can be reached by phone at 888-542-6351 or click the link at our website at kingofuber.com. From Southern and Central California, you're listening to the King of Uber podcast. This is episode 79. And here he is, the King of Uber, Jonathan.
Don't ever call me that.
Who's Jonathan? Oh my gosh.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of the King of Uber. My name is Johnny. If my voice sounds sexy today, because I'm a little bit under the weather and I'm feeling...
Did you just say sexy?
I did say sexy.
Oh my.
We have a couple special guests with us today. I have Kimchi and Cody. If you hear any noises in the background, those are my cats playing.
Cool.
Yeah.
How many cats do you have now?
Oh, I just have one. But Kimchi's brother is Cody, and Cody lives 2 doors down from me. Mm. But we keep the two cats together all the time because they kind of entertain each other. And
that's cool.
If you hear any noise in the background, that's them. If you guys are ever thinking about getting cats, and if you could adopt brothers or brother-sister combo, it's always better to get both of them because they're a lot easier to take care of because they're always together. They're never bored. They sleep together, eat together, poop together. They do everything together, so I don't have to always keep them entertained. So it's kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I locked mine in the other room. She was being naughty. Question.
Yeah.
So Joan's cats.
Yes.
Now are actually taking on the Chung name.
What?
So we have Coco Chung and Puffy
That's
Chung.
funny. The Chung fan.
Well, you don't know this. So one day, Dolph and I were talking on the phone, and Joe now calls her cats Puffy Chung and Coco Chung. and I
That's
told
cute,
this to
though.
Dolph, and Dolph started cracking up.
Of course.
That was really funny, which is pretty
It makes
cool.
sense. It's cute.
So this past week, Lonnie, I've been really pissed off at Dolph.
Why? What happened?
He never invited me to his wedding.
Yeah, that wedding that was like 8 years ago when I never actually knew him. Yeah, how dare me.
Well, you should be mad too that you never got invited to his wedding.
I thought he remarried or something. I was like, what? No invitation.
Dolph, you got married in 2011?
Yeah.
I met you in 2016?
Yeah.
I still don't get it. I'm still pissed off. But anyway, Thanksgiving's coming up without saying the exact date. The wedding's coming. Been preparing for that.
You excited?
I was.
What?
And then, yeah, I'm just being honest. I was very excited, then nervous, and then freaking out, and then getting everything ready and prepared to do everything. There's a lot to do. Mm-hmm. So now
How do you
it's
feel
just
right
like,
now?
Well, I told you, I'm feeling a little sick.
No,
Like
I
had a
meant
cold
about the
coming
wedding.
on. Oh, I'm actually... Well, I'm still excited and nervous and still and all that stuff. Still haven't written my vows, but we're getting there. But anyway, let's start the podcast. Let's talk about sex, baby. Wait, that's not. Damn it. Uber, sorry. Yeah, let's talk about Uber Lyft stuff. Well, I know a lot of people want to hear about LAX some more and more until today's the day they added 3 extra lanes for Uber and Lyft. Since we don't have real concrete information about that, we'll wait a little bit until maybe next week or something before we talk more about it. For you people that pick up a lot of friends or acquaintances at LAX downstairs, I want to let you know that the inside lanes where the taxis used to wait, regular cars are not allowed in there anymore. In the first 2 lanes, they blocked it off for only the LA exit shuttles. On the island side, where the shuttles used to pick up everybody, LAX, what they did is they made 2 lanes to pick up passengers. You guys get that?
Yeah.
Do you guys understand that?
Yeah.
As you guys know, I do a lot of pickups of my friends there because I'm such a nice person. What I noticed though that it's creating a little bit more chaos downstairs on the regular nights after 8 o'clock, Saturday, Sundays. When it's normally really busy, it's even worse down there. And I only say that because you have idiot drivers down there, which we have idiot drivers everywhere. They go where you're supposed to only pick up and leave. Now cars are going down there, parking there, and they're not moving because their damn family member or somebody hasn't come out yet.
I'm surprised they're not regulating this.
Well, yeah,
Are they not?
Well, the last couple times I was there was nobody out there telling these stupid cars to move. And here's the bonehead stupid thing that I saw there. So because upstairs was really busy on a Sunday, I actually went downstairs to drop off, which if you have your Uber sticker on or Lyft sticker on, you're not allowed to go down there. You can get a fine up to $600 if you do this. But I did not have my stickers on my car. I ended up going downstairs because it was much easier. I dropped off at Terminal 3 and there was a police car parked in in the second lane of the island lane, right? Where they were supposed to do the pickup. Yeah. There was a car sitting right behind the police car. When I drove by the police car, there was nobody in the police car. The guy didn't have his lights on. He just parked it there and left. And I couldn't believe how much more traffic it cost.
I think the reason why they do that is because police cars are more intimidating than the actual police themselves. So you see a car, you slow down, you behave,
No, but he should at least left his blinkers on or something because 4 or 5 cars ended up sitting there waiting for him to move.
Yeah.
While I'm sitting there in my head cursing in the car, going, what the hell's all this hold up, blah, 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 blah. When I drove by, there was nobody in the police car.
So how long would you say it takes to get into LAX now?
Well, that's a good question. So I refuse now these days when LAX is really busy is to go sit in a cell phone waiting lot because when it's super busy, all the Ubers and Lyfts are trying to go up the bridge and into the LA exit lot, which causes way more traffic again. Yeah. So I don't wait in the cell phone wait lot anymore. I used to wait by the Sheraton on Century, but that entrance also is a nightmare. So now I'm going on the other side of the 105 where the B of A is, sitting there. And then when I need to go pick up a friend or something, I'm going underneath the tarmac of the 105 freeway and getting in because that way is it's clear now all the time.
Okay, so that's the one going up Sepulveda and into that's it's funny because that used to be pretty backed up.
It used to be backed up all the way to the 105, but now it's not backed up anymore.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting note. If you need to, especially with Thanksgiving coming around, if you need to pick up family members at the airport. The busy times at LAX, I would say, is now after 8 o'clock every day of the week. And then Sunday mornings, it's always busy. Well, Sunday's pretty much all day is always busy.
Yeah. I was actually there on Sunday. I was just like, what's going on here?
I know. You came down on Sunday and we still didn't go to Olive Garden.
I know. I came down to LA on Sunday and on Monday. Can you believe that?
Here's a little side note. Every year you got, we do a thing called Kingsgiving. And this year, because of my wedding, we've postponed it to, we're going to do the Kingsgiving during Christmas. Just want to let you know, JT made us 100 backpacks. I believe 50 blue, 50 pink. I'll be picking them up next week.
Awesome.
So for you listeners out there that want to donate, we're going to ask for donations of cash because we're going to end up filling these backpacks up with school supplies and we're going to be donating these backpacks to an elementary school. So once I go pick up the backpacks, we will post it up on the King of Uber Facebook page and the King of Uber website and stuff and our group pages.
Neat.
So keep a lookout out for that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Oh, thank you. I'm known to be a sweet person every once in a while.
once in a while.
Why is that so funny? Do we have to go over this again?
No, we don't.
Thank you.
I think everyone knows already.
Not everybody. What else new? Dolph, I know that you asked a question up on Facebook on our King of Uber page.
I want to thank everyone for such a good response too, because it's actually a pretty good discussion we had going here. So the
Well,
question,
it was a very good question.
yeah. Well, the question was, when you first started driving Uber and Lyft, what came to you as a surprise? Should we start with Johnny? Do you have an answer for that yourself?
Yeah. What's your answer?
I just couldn't believe what all the women that wanted to have sex with me.
Wow.
Well,
Really?
in the real life, when I'm not Uber man, a woman won't even touch me.
I can't even believe that now.
Well, I don't get it. What? You don't get what?
Lonnie, how would you answer the question? What came to you as a surprise when you first started driving Uber and Lyft?
This might sound super silly and stupid, but I guess like a deduction on gas, maybe like cheaper gas. I was like, okay, I thought maybe we'd get discounts on that, but guess not,
Well, we'd get the deduction on gas at the end of the year, but yeah, it's like...
I could have said something really bad, but I didn't.
No, but I had no idea. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. All right.
One that actually got to me, I was like, oh yes, I totally remember this. Joe on Facebook, he said pool. And, I totally get, yeah. Cause like, seriously, I didn't sign up for pool. I only knew about UberX, and then all of a sudden, I had no idea what this pool thing was. And then, so I got the first ping, and then all of a sudden, I drive to where it was telling me to go, and then the second passenger gets in. And so I learned with the first passenger what pool was. So.
Well, it would be really surprising if you are an Orange County driver.
Yeah.
And you just do Orange County. Mm-hmm. And if you went to another city and having to pick up multiple people, in one trip, yeah, that's surprising. But,
Yeah, because that's all over LA. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, here's a thing that I had about Uber Pool. One of my friends was up in LA and took an Uber, and before they used to tell you what each price was on the ride, she didn't know what Uber Pool was, and she just went on her app and just ordered it, and it automatically put her on Pool. She freaked out when another passenger got in the car, and she knows what's going on, and the driver had to tell her, yeah, well, you ordered Uber Pool. And she's like, what is Uber Pool? She had no idea what it was. So I had to show her that, if you want to just ride by yourself, you need to order just UberX or higher. And I had to go on the app and I showed her what to do. So yeah. So it's not only just the drivers, it's also the passengers. Sometimes they order and they don't even realize that they ordered it.
Of course, yeah. I think, it'd be funny. So if they started like integrating Uber Pool with Uber Eats, and so like somewhere in there, you have to pick up food while you have a passenger in the car.
When I first started, they didn't give me an option to opt out of that.
Uber Eats?
Yeah, I didn't like that. Yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden, yeah, it's so weird.
I'm waiting for something, and then they're like, okay, the food's ready. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Come inside. We'll get the food. It's like, what?
Yeah. No, I called Uber, and I told them, I was like, hey, can you take off this option? Because I don't want to pick up food. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not.
I've only done 2 Uber Eats pickups in my life.
How many?
2.
2.
Only because Uber sent me a thing where if I do 1 Uber Eats pickup, they'll give me a $10 bonus.
Hey, that's worth it.
So I picked one up, and then while I was picking one up, they gave me another ping before I could deliver. So I did 2 deliveries at once. And that was my end of my Uber Eats career.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm done.
Yeah, well, so I don't do the deliveries because I'm lazy. I don't want to get out of my car, go into a restaurant, pick up food, and come back out unless it's McDonald's. And Dolph taught me this, that if you do a McDonald's Uber Eats pickup, you could go to the drive-thru and pick up food.
Nice.
Which I think is pretty cool.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if you use Uber Eats to your advantage, you can. Number one, if you have a gas guzzling car, Uber Eats might be a better option than driving passengers. Number two, in some parts of Orange County, like South County, if you do Uber Eats, most of those customers down there, they will tip you. You'll probably get a higher percentage of tips down there. Number three, let's say you're waiting to pick up somebody at a friend at the airport or something. You got a couple hours to kill, like up in LA. If you're an Orange County driver, you might want to turn on Uber Eats just because to kill some time, and also because you probably know you're not going to go very far.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you never do.
Yeah, if you use those as your advantages to make more money, it's an option.
I always did that. There are restaurants right around LAX and ready and willing to give food to drivers to go deliver. And they don't go far at all. So, and especially, I mean, I don't know what most people are doing with trying to complete trips nowadays, but it's a good way to, if you're trying to hit some kind of quest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and Uber Eats does surge every once in a while too.
Yeah.
Back to your question about, you know, things. The people that know me know that I've been driving for Uber for over 6 years now. And when I first started doing Uber, they always rounded down on your pay. So if you did a fare and it was like $9.99, they would give the customer a 99-cent discount and only pay the driver $9. So it was always a round number that we got paid with Uber. But about 4 or 5 months after I started with Uber, when our pay used to be really high, they slashed our pay in half. They did the old bait and switch. And that's the thing that really surprised me more. And that's when I started really fighting back about Uber. And this is how this whole my Facebook group started, the King of Uber started. All these things about what us three are doing now all got started because Uber just kept on screwing its drivers over. Yeah, because they started screwing everybody over all the time. And you know, I just started fighting back. And, you know, and I had another person this past week. I was on the phone with him talking, and he told me the same thing. And Dolph, this is the same line that I think that ended up probably, you know, making you and I being friends is, in one of my classes, I said that line where, you know, we don't work for Uber and Lyft. We have to make Uber and Lyft work for us. He repeated that same line that you told me, Dolph, a couple years ago. And when he told me that, he was telling me that he was driving all these hours, working full time, and he was netting less than, I don't know, $600-700 a week after gas and everything. And he was out there working 10 hours every day. Then after hearing me say that line on one of our podcasts, he said his whole mindset just changed. And then he started working smarter, not harder. He started driving less hours. He did start working the split shift like I've always recommended, but you have to work when it's busy. And then he told me he started having, you know, $1,000 to $1,500 weeks. Do you remember those days, Dolph, when by Friday you had $1,500 almost?
By Thursday.
Close to it. Yeah.
Well, no.
Those were the days, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's also being in LA, but you know, in San
but it was still
Francisco,
possible.
those guys make $2,000. But let's not go there.
Yeah, but the cost of living, the maintenance
I know.
on cars, the brakes, all that stuff, a lot more.
One day, if I ever get to like go up there and make a couple grand, that'd be awesome. But you know,
Well, I still think you can still make, you know, money doing this job. The bad part is that you're going to end up spending more money on gas these days than you ever did. Not because gas
Yeah, of
prices are higher. It's just because, there's a lot more driving to do. At the same time, even though we're doing more driving, there's also a lot more customers than there were 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Like, I think if you look in the dictionary, I mean, Uber's a word now. You know, so, you know, it's the same thing as a taxi or transportation or whatever. The one thing that still bothers me when I drive is when people call me Uber, you know. Are you my Uber? No, I am your driver.
Yeah, it's it's just that word.
are you my stupid passenger?
Yeah, I tried that once. It didn't. My rating did not come with a good outcome after doing that.
Well, you know, speaking of passengers, what I thought was surprising when I first started, you know, taking Ubers was the option to tip when they didn't have that at the time.
Right.
I thought that was weird.
Yeah. Speaking about tipping, you know what really pisses me off? You know, and I've been thinking about this for a little while, and the people that know me well know I'm a horrible writer. But I would love to write a statement on why you should tip your driver or something inspirational that needs to go viral, that needs to have people tip us. I mean, it's so lame.
I think it's well accepted that all waiters, waitresses, they get tipped.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't even get tips that much.
Even my cheap friends, they'll leave $2 on a $30 bill. Well, they'll even do that. But I mean, I know some drivers complain that, you know, they get pissed off when they get tipped $1, which I think is, you know, also not a very good tip. But I mean, it's still better than nothing. I'd rather have 10 $1 tips than 10 $0 tips.
Yeah, because, you know, if you're, like, let's say you do, you know, 40 trips in a week and every rider actually tipped you, like, a couple bucks, that's $80. you know? And
That's pretty good math.
here's the thing is like, I mean, yes, it's nice that if you have like, you know, people who tip like $5 or $10, that's great. But
Right.
I think I would prefer that every single rider would actually tip a couple bucks instead of having that one person tip the $5 to $10.
I didn't. Yeah, I agree. I didn't mention it to you last time because last week we did our episode JT. But after I dropped off at LAX, I was going down Century Boulevard and I turned on my app because it was early Sunday morning, and I got this pickup from a dude. I forgot what the hell it was, but it was like right off Airport Way, and I took him to LAX, which is, you know, a mile ride, which I didn't really care because he was right in front of me. I picked him up and he goes, hey, I have a question for you. I was like, yeah. He goes, I had 3 drivers cancel on me. He goes, do you know why? And I said, oh yeah. I told the guy, I go, it's because of your rating. And he goes, my rating? I go, you know, I told him, yeah. I go, yeah, passengers get rated just like our drivers do. And I go, by any chance, are you from New York? And he goes, I am from New York. How did you know? He goes, New York passengers are well known to veteran drivers of having low ratings, even though they're probably the nicest people in the world. He goes, really? He goes, I tip my drivers, you know, in New York also. I go, yeah, but you're probably not going very far, are you? And he goes, no, well, in New York, we don't go very far. And I said, well, drivers don't make anything. And we also don't know if you're going to leave us a tip or not on those short rides. And most Uber customers don't. So, what do you call it? Drivers just have this notion that you're not going to tip. So they, you know, give you a low rating. And he goes, and so then he asked me, he's like, well, why did you pick me up? And I said, because you were 0.2 miles away from me. I didn't care where you went. I'm not going to lose money on you because I don't have to drive far to get you. And he goes, well, why didn't I get you? And he goes, that's interesting. He goes, how does the ping thing work? And he goes, the closest car. Then he goes, but the other cars were further away and you were a lot closer. How come you got the ping? And I go, oh, I just turned on my app just now. So we got to LAX and he goes, he said, thank you for all that information. And he tipped me $100.
Nice.
That's my 4th $100 tip I've gotten since doing this job.
Wow.
I called Joan afterwards and I told her about the story and she was all happy.
That's
because
nice.
you know, when you're in an Asian marriage, my money's her money and her money's her money.
Absolutely.
There's no hesitation on that from Lonnie.
Nope, absolutely.
By the way, everybody, Joan's not Asian. She's just embracing the Asian culture.
When I saw her picture, I thought she was Asian. And then you had to tell me she wasn't. I was shocked. She kind of has when she smiles, she kind of looks a little Asian.
It's because of her eyes.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do that. But if you see her in person, you'll never, ever think she was Asian.
No, I saw more pictures and I was like, yeah, she's definitely not Asian.
Oh, yeah. But she also has the brown hair, too. So.
Yeah.
Do you want to go just a few more of these?
Sure.
Okay. Another one is that people aren't ready. I have to agree on that one. It's like, seriously, people.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah.
Why order an Uber when, I don't know, it's just kind of, I remember in the training video. Do you guys remember the training video at all by any chance? You know, where they tell you don't accept tips, you refuse them at first, right? But if they insist, go ahead, keep it. It's yours. No.
Well, did you know before that video, if you accepted tips, Uber would threaten to fire you?
Really?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah.
That's a trip. And then of course, like you're like thinking, oh yeah, maybe this passenger is probably working for Uber and they want to test me, you know. So no, but like that's another thing is that they were very adamant about us not calling as soon as you got there, right? Send them a text because usually your passenger is probably finishing up and you don't want to disturb them while they're doing that. Nowadays, that's BS. We want them out there as we pull up.
Of course.
You know?
I usually don't call or text.
Well,
I'm not there to...
On Uber,
I don't mind sitting. Yeah, I don't mind sitting there and just, collecting the cancellation fee. So, especially if it's on a non-surge. If it's on a surge, I will text them. But if it's on non-surge, I don't care. Waiting. Yeah, if you're not out there, I will cancel. I'll get my my fee. If they call me, I'll answer and I'll tell them, hey, I'm sorry, I was there waiting for you. You never came out, so I left. And then you get people that says, well, why didn't you call me? I go, and then I'll say, didn't you get a notification that saying I was there? They're like, yeah. Well, then why do I need to call you? Did you want me to open the door and hold your hand and wipe your freaking ass too?
No, I wanted you to knock on the door. Oh my gosh, I had that once, and because the guy was like ordering like an Uber or a Lyft, I can't remember, for like a family member, and this a-hole, I'm like, I give him a call. It's like, yeah, I'm here. It's like, well, are you gonna go and knock on the door and get? It's like, sir, we don't do that. But, you know,
I would have laughed at him.
Yeah.
You ever have the one where they come out and they load up your car, they hand you $20 and say they need a couple more minutes?
No.
You've never had that before?
No. I'll do that though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
I've
nowadays
got a
with
couple
the
of those.
Yeah, with the waiting fee and $20. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dolph's like, hell yeah.
When I first started, I got one of those. And it was like 15 minutes later. And then at that time, I didn't know where the lady was going. I thought she was just going John Wayne. Mm-hmm. And we ended up going to LAX. And we got to LAX. She gave me another $40.
Nice.
But it was also Christmas time. She said Merry Christmas. That I did not mind waiting. I ended up waiting almost 25 minutes for this lady.
That's cool.
Oh.
But I also got $9 from the ride, but that's what we used to get when we went to LAX at that time when we first started. And then she gave me 16 cash, so that was kind of nice. Let's see. So I know this week we didn't have a lot of information because a lot of things haven't really changed. But the next couple podcasts we're gonna be talking about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a very, very busy time. I will give some good tips and hints on how and where to make your money, because you can make a lot of money during that time, and you could also not make any money if you think you know more than I do. So for all you people listening out there, make sure you listen to our next episode about Thanksgiving, because I'll give you all my tips and what to do to make money during that time. Is that cool?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. I want to thank you for listening. I'm sure my sexy voice will be gone by next week. And always remember to tip your drivers.
Don't be creepy.
And sit diagonally.
See you next week.
Bye.
Vagina. For more information about driving for Uber and Lyft, reach out to us on Facebook or visit our website at kingofuber.com.